This is Olab's website. Here you can see the feature for training. Here you can register. So I will perform an experiment here. But before that, let's have a look on the topics. So in the physics, these experiments are available, and all these experiments are aligned to CBSE syllabus. For example, experiment on vernier caliper, simple pendulum, friction, spherometer, resonance column. In class 10th, also one can study reflection, Ohm's law, magnetic field lines. In class 9, we can perform experiments like bell jar, Newton third law. So these are experiments in physics, and similarly we have experiments in chemistry also. These are also aligned to CBSE syllabus. For example, in class 12th, we have experiments on qualitative analysis of oils and fats, preparation of lyophilic and lyophobic salts. In class 11, similarly, we perform experiment on pH determination. We do qualitative estimation. In class 10th also, we can see these experiments. Similarly, in the case of class 9th also. And now let's have a look in biology. So here also, all the experiments given here are aligned to CBSE. So in class 12, we have experiments on study of pollutants in air, study mitosis in onion root tip. In class 11, we study characteristic of flowers, detection of sugar in urine, etc. Similarly, in the case of 10th and 9th also. So let me perform an experiment. So for example, study of osmosis. So in this experiment, our objective is to study osmosis using a potato osmometer. So whenever you do any experiment in Olab, they will provide you these sections. So the first one is theory. In theory, you will get the background knowledge related to the experiment. For example, what is osmosis, causes of osmosis, importance of osmosis, what are the types of solution like hypertonic, hypertonic, and isotonic. They also provide information for teachers that what are the learning outcomes. The next section here is procedure. So in this, they provide information related to the material required to carry out or to perform experiment. They also provide procedure, not just for the stimulator. They also provide procedure for the real labs. In addition, they provide information on observation, conclusion, and precaution. But in my opinion, a teacher should encourage children to avoid looking at observation and conclusion. They must perform the experiment. They must carry out experiment on stimulator, and then they come back and look at the observation, and they can verify their observation and their inferences. Then the next section here is on animation. So in this section, they provide an animated video in which they show that how to perform experiment on stimulator. Then there is one similar option here, which is video. So in this, they provide video in which they show how to perform the same experiment in the real lab, so that children can get the idea that what are the factors that can affect the results. Then the most important section here is on stimulator. So this is the section where we will perform the experiment on. This is the stimulator for potato osmometer. So in this, they have provided us a potato, a clock, and few pins. On this side, you can see that you can change the variables. So here we can change the sugar concentration inside the petri dish, and we can also change the sugar concentration in the potato. So for example, I am choosing 25 for the petri dish. So this represents the solute portion. So if 25 is solute, then here the 75 represents the solvent concentration. Similarly, here I am choosing, for example, 10. So here this 10 represents the sugar concentration, that is the solute, and then the remaining is our solvent. And we can even see the cross-sectional view here. So let's put a pin here so that we can, see the and trace the change in the level of solution after the process of osmosis. So let's start the stimulator and try to see the change. Okay, so after 2 hours, we can see the decrease in the level of solution inside the potato. So it happened because of the osmosis, because all the solvent molecules present inside the potato has moved out to the petri dish. So this is osmosis, right, in which the solvent molecules from the low concentrated solution move towards the high concentrated solution through the semi permeable membrane. So this was just one case. If one want to study osmosis, they can change the variables every time, and they can see how much water or how much solution like will come out or will come in, go inside. So we can see that the change in the level of the solution depends on the concentration. And we can even study the different types of solution. For example, if I'm keeping it 15 for both, and putting pin here, then we can see that this is the case of isotonic solution. So there will be no change in the levels. No osmosis will take place. So this was experiment, virtual experiment on osmosis. Next section here is Viva. So in this, children can do self-assessment. They can solve these MCQs which are based on potato osmometer. And next section is on vocabulary. So they provide definitions or explanation of some important words. Then they provide resources for extended learning. These are the some links for the websites and the books. And lastly, they ask for the feedback. In the case of mathematics and English, they provide lessons. For example, in the case of maths, as you can see, for class 10th, they provide demonstration on volume of sphere, surface area of cylinder, angles in the same segment. For the class 9th, they provide demonstration on area of parallelogram, area of circle. For example, area of circle. So again, in this, they provide information in these sections. For example, let's open the stimulator. So in this, they demonstrate about the area of circle, and they give the suggestive demonstration of the formula that the area of circle is the half the product of its circumference and the radius. So this is for the maths. And in the case of English also, they provide some content which is categorized on the basis of topics, not on the basis of class. So some topics are like prepositions, active, passive voice, tenses, direct, indirect speech, singular and plural. So let's open this one, prepositions. So here again they provide these sections, and in the lab we can do this exercise. So in this exercise they will provide some instruction, and we have to follow those instructions. So for example, let's start this one. Okay. Hmm. So this is the room. They will ask, they will command us, and we will put the ball on the desired place. So let's skip. Okay, so the question here is, put the ball below the table. So we will put it below the table. So after each action, they will also provide some feedback, like whether it is wrong or right. So through this, children can learn about the preposition like on, in, above, below, etc.